Good morning everybody. Let us start with how to solve problems in moment of inertia. We have already discussed that moment of inertia and centroid are correlated together. So this is the reason why they have been taught together, they are understood together. Centroid, you can say that it is the location where the entire area is assumed to be concentrated, whereas moment of inertia is one parameter which decides about the which is one factor which decides about the strength of a cross section. So strength of a cross section basically depends upon material properties, etc., etc. But if you look from the cross sectional dimensions point of view, moment of inertia is the only one component which will tell you about the strength of a component, because you can have several cross sections having the same area. They will be obviously having the different dimensions, but they can have the same area. So like we have previously said that if you have the same area, then force upon area will give you the stress produced inside the component. So every component carrying the same force but having different cross sections having the same area will give you the same stress component. But the same stress component does not mean that every cross section actually fits into a mechanical design process. So you can have components where they have the same cross sectional area but they will be having different moment of inertia. Greater the moment of inertia, lesser will be the net amount of stresses produced. How it will be less, that we will be discussing in the 5th unit. But right now you can understand that you need to have a section which has the least cross sectional area and the greatest moment of inertia. Because if you have the least cross sectional area, that means the cost of the material or the weight of the material or mass of the material, these factors will get reduced. And if you have more moment of inertia, you will be producing lesser amount of stress due to the same cross sectional area or due to the same component. So that is a design aspect that we will be seeing later on, how to reduce the moment of inertia, how to reduce the cross sectional area as well as on the contrary increase the moment of inertia of a cross section. So let us take a very small problem. This is an L section for which dimensions are given. This 10 is until here and this 8 is until here. So we have divided the cross section in such a manner that you can find distinguish or distribute it into two rectangles. So this is one rectangle of cross section 8 into 4. This is another rectangle of cross section 12. This is 8 and this is 4. So this is 12 into 2. So you can find out the area. This is 8 into 4 is the cross sectional area of 1. A2, it is 12 into 2. This is A2. Now these green denotions, they represent the reference about which the centroid has been found out. So we have taken these references and we have found out that x1, if you see x1, this is 4, this is your reference frame. So x1 is 2, half of this. x2, it is 6 because this is 12. From this reference frame it will be half of 12, this is 6. y1, this is your reference frame. So y1 is 6. Why? Because this is from here to here it is 2 and then the remaining is 8. So half of 8 is 4, 2 plus 4 is 6. And here this is 2 only, so you have 1. If you put down the values as a1 x1 plus a2 x2 divided by a1 plus a2, you get the value of x bar as 3.71. If you find out y bar, it is a1 y1 plus a2 y2 divided by a1 plus a2, you get the value of y bar as 3.86. So x bar and y bar have been found out. So there are different types of problems that you will see in moment of inertia. One type of problem is determine the moment of inertia. If the statement is determine the moment of inertia, that means automatically means that it is about the centroidal axis. In mechanical design problems, all problems that are stated are about its centroidal axis only. But for examination's point of view, you need to find out, or you may be asked to find out, moment of inertia about different reference frames. So moment of inertia about centroidal axis will define your reference frame. So this is your reference frame which has been found out as 3.71 and 3.86. Now the moment of inertia about x-axis axis. About x-axis axis means if you look, then this is your, this is 3.86 y bar. So from here it is 3.86 somewhere here. So this is your, you can say, the centroidal axis. So this is your x-axis frame and this is your y-y frame. So you need to find out the moment of inertia about this x-axis and y-y frame. So Ixx is given by Ixx1 means moment of inertia of body 1 plus Ixx2 moment of inertia of body 2. The formula for rectangles that we have previously discussed is BD cube by 12 about x-axis axis, and about y-y axis it is dB cube by 12. Now in the derivation we have seen that d is the dimension along y-axis and b is the dimension along x-axis. So b and d are previously defined in the derivations only. Now come to the problem. If you come to this problem, this Ixx1 is moment that we have derived, this BD cube by 12 that we have derived is about its own centroidal axis. If you look at this problem has three centroids. One is centroid of body 1, that is somewhere here, half of x, half of y. If you look at body 2, it has another centroid, half of y and half of x. And there is a third centroid which is the centroid of the entire body. You are asked to determine the moment of inertia about the entire body. This BD cube by 12 is the moment of inertia about its own centroid. Because in the derivation we have seen that we have located the centroid first and then we have derived this relationship BD cube by 12, because in the integration you can see that the integration limits were minus d by 2 to plus d by 2. So when you want to find out the moment of inertia about a third reference frame, we use parallel axis theorem, which says that it is Ixx plus AH square. Means you want to transfer it from one reference frame. One reference frame means its own centroidal axis or probably any other frame to the total centroidal axis. So if you look at Ixx1, this is BD cube by 12. So this is moment of inertia of this body, of body 1 about its own centroidal axis. So this is BD cube by 12, this you can find out, plus AH square. Why this AH square has been done into the problem? Because you want to transfer this value from the centroidal axis of body 1 to the centroidal axis of the composite body. So this is A, this is 32, body 1, and H square. H square is the amount of transfer that you need to make from the centroidal axis of body 1 to the centroidal axis of the composite body. So this distance is 3.86 minus 6. Why it is from here the centroidal axis from the reference frame, from these reference frames, the centroidal axis of body 1 lies at a distance of 6, and from the same reference frame the centroidal axis of the composite body lies at a distance of 3.86 that you have previously found out. So the distance between them is the amount of transfer that has to take place. So this is 3.86 minus 6. Now this component, if you write it as 6 minus 3.86 or 3.86 minus 6, both are the same because you have to find out the whole square. So this is done, you get this value. Similarly for Ixx2, if you look for Ixx2, it is again BD cube by 12, this is D, this is B. I have already said that the dimension in the y direction is your D, the dimension in the x direction is your B. Don't look it as the greater dimension is always D and the smaller dimension is always B. So this is 12 into 2 cube by 12. Now this is the moment of inertia about its own centroidal axis. That means somewhere here at a distance of 1. You need to find out about the centroidal axis, this one. So from the reference frame this distance is 1. From the same reference frame this distance is 3.86. So this distance is 1 minus 3.86. So you can write it as 3.86 minus 1. So whether you write it as 3.86 minus 1 or 1 minus 3.86, it makes no difference. because ultimately the value will be whole squared and whole square will always turn out to be positive. So let us come to this term. If you find out Iyy is about this centroidal axis. So again about this centroidal axis, you can see that there are three centroids. One is centroid of this about y-axis or about x-axis, because Iyy is actually integral x square dA. So this you have values of x also. If you see about this also, you have some values of x. There are two centroids of these two individual rectangles, and you have one composite centroid of this entire structure. So we need to find out about this entire structure. dB cube by 12 is Iyy about the centroidal axis of an individual rectangle, not about its reference frame or centroidal axis. So this is 8 into 4 cube by 12. This is dB cube by 12. For 1, this is 8. This is 4. So d is 8 and into 4 cube dB cube by 12 plus 32. 32 is area, because we need to transfer it from one centroidal axis to its composite centroidal axis. So the centroid of body 1 about the reference frame is at a distance of 2, and the centroid of the composite body is at a distance of 3.71 that we have previously found out. So this is 2 minus 3.71, because this is 2 and the entire is 3.71, so the distance is 2 minus 3.71. It can be positive or negative, it makes no difference. Whole square, you get this value. Iy by 2 about this, it is 2 into 12 cube. This is d, this d is 12, so this is 2 into 12 cube by 12 plus 24 is the area. Again you need to transfer the centroid of this about the reference frame is at a distance of 6, so this is 6, and the centroid of the entire body is at a distance of 3.71. So this is 6 minus 3.71. You write it as whole square and you find out these values. We add them up, you get Iyy of the composite section. You add these two up, you get Iyy of this composite section. So we have found out Ixx and Iyy about the centroidal axis for this L section. One thing that you need to remember is, in any of the stages, none of your values will come out to be negative, because Ixx is integral x square dA. X square cannot be negative, neither can dA be negative. Iyy is integral x square dA. Ixx is integral y square dA. Now y square cannot be negative, nor can dA be negative. This term is ah square. A cannot be negative, h square. H can be negative, but h square cannot be negative. So the entire process will involve only positive values. Moment of inertia cannot be negative about any reference frame, whether you take it about differentiate into positive x-axis, negative x-axis, you do whatsoever method you want, but ultimately the values will never turn out to be negative. So this is the T section that we have taken. In this T section, the dimensions are given to you, and by the method of centroid we have found it out that with these references, x bar is 75, this distance is 75, and y bar is 125, this distance is 125. The references you can take on your own. If you take this as your reference on the top surface, you will get the value of y bar as 50 plus 25, 75. If you take this reference, you will be getting this value as 75. So this 75 or this 125 is one and the same. So if you find out Ixx is Ixx of 1 plus Ixx of 2. So this is body 1 and this is our body 2. So to find out the center moment of inertia of body 1, what you need to do is BD cube by 12. So this is B and this is D, this is B. So this is 150 into 50 cube by 12. Now this 150 into 50 cube by 12 is about its own centroidal axis. You need to transfer it from here to here. So the centroidal axis of body 1 actually is here. So you need to find out this distance. So this distance is how much? From here to here, this distance is 175. From here to here, the distance is 125. So this distance is 175 minus 125. You can write it as, in either ways, it can be 125 minus 175 or 175 minus 125. the whole square will obviously give you the same answers. So similarly Ixx2, for body Ixx2, this is 50 B, this is D, 150 cube by 12 plus. Now 50 into 150 cube by 12 is about its own centroidal axis, that means somewhere here at a distance of 75. Now this has to be transferred from here to here. So this is 125, this is 75, so this distance is 125 minus 75 whole square. You find out, you get all these two values and you can add them up and you will be getting the value of Ixx. Similarly Iyy. If you find Iyy of body 1 plus Iyy of body 2. So Iyy of body 1 is dB cube by 12. So D is 50, B is 150. So dB cube by 12 plus 50 into 150 area multiplied by 75 minus 75. Why 75 minus 75? From here the centroid lies at a distance of 75 for body 1 and the entire body's, the composite body's centroid also lies at a distance of 75. So this is 75 minus 75 and this term will obviously come out to be 0. Similarly for Iyy2, this is 150 dB cube by 12. So D is 150, B is 50, so this is 150 into 50 cube by 12 plus area of this is 50 into 150 multiplied by, from here this is 150, this is 50, so that means this is 50, this is 50. So the centroid of body 2 with reference to this axis is 50 plus half of 50, this is 25. So 50 plus 20 is 75. The centroid of the composite body also is at 75. So this is 75 minus 75 whole square and you can calculate it as 15 minus 15.625 into 10 to the power 6 mm to the power 4. Mm to the power 4 is the unit of moment of inertia. So now let us take another problem where we are finding out the second moment of area or moment of inertia of this body. So if you look at this body, for this centroid we have already found out, probably they were of different dimensions. So we have taken this figure where if you take these references, the value of x bar comes out to be 60 and y bar comes out to be 75. And with these references, if you take any reference, you will have different values. And probably it is symmetrical about x-axis and y axis, so the values will come out to be the same. So if you locate them, this will be your centroidal axis, this will be your y axis, and this is your x-axis. Now, if you look at this structure, it is Ixx of, this is a complete big rectangle from where two semicircles have been removed. So I have taken these two semicircles as one single area denoted by Ixx2. So Ixx of this entire figure is Ixx of this big rectangle minus Ixx of these two semicircles. So let us find out Ixx of body 1. So body 1 is a rectangle of dimensions 120 and 150. So this is BD cube by 12. So this is 120 into 150 cube by 12 plus the centroidal AH square. So 120 into 150. The centroid of body 1, the big rectangle, from the reference frame is at a distance of 75 and y bar for this composite body is also at a distance of 75. So this is 75 minus 75 whole square. This term will obviously be removed. So if you find out Ixx2, so Ixx2 is sum of these two semicircles. So at the time of derivation you have seen that the semicircle that we had taken was for this shape. So x bar, now here the semicircle is of this shape, so it has been rotated by 90 degree. So you can say that x bar becomes y bar becomes x bar. Similarly, Ixx becomes Iyy and Iyy becomes Ixx. So about this reference frame, this is pi r to the power 4 by 8, this moment of inertia about xx axis. So this is pi r to the power 4 by 8 plus pi r square by 2, this is area, and the centroid lies at a distance of 25 plus half radius. So this is at a distance of 75. So this is pi r square, 75 minus 75 whole square. Similarly for this one, it is again pi r to the power 4 by 8 plus pi into 50 square by 2. This is the area of the second one, and this is 75 minus 75 is a whole square. Now let us find out Iyy. Iyy means about this axis. So Iyy is dv cube by 12. So d is 150, b is 120. 150 into 120 cube by 12 plus the area is 150 into 120 of this triangle, and from this reference the centroid lies at a distance of 60, and from the same reference the centroid of the composite body also lies at a distance of 60. So this is 60 minus 60 whole square for Iyy2 for these two. So this is 0.11 r to the power 4. This we have previously derived. So this is 0.11 into r to the power 4 plus pi into 50 square by 2. So pi into 50 square by 2 is the area of this semicircle multiplied by the centroid lies at a distance of 60, and the centroid of this semicircle lies at a distance of 4r by 3 pi from this reference frame. So this is 60 minus 4r by 3 pi whole square plus for this one it is 0.11 into 50 to the power 4 plus area is pi r square by 2. Now the centroid for this semicircle lies at a distance of 4r by 3 pi, this distance, and you need to find out this distance. This distance. So this distance is this distance minus this distance. So this is 60 minus, this is 60 minus, what is this distance? This is 120, this was entire was 120 minus 4r by 3 by this distance minus 4r by 3 pi whole square. So you get all these values and you can sum them up and you will get the value of Iyy and Ixx of this composite figure. Now in the problem still now you can very well see that if you need to find out the moment of inertia about the centroidal axis, then x bar and y bar has to be properly, clearly and without any mistake has to be found out. Now look at these terms. Also compare them with the previous two problems. If you compare, you will see that these values are actually y bar minus y1. If you look at this value, this is y bar minus y2. Similarly, if you look at these values, this is x bar minus x1. If you look at these values, this is x bar minus x2 of first one, and this is x bar minus x2 of triangle 2. So if x1 y1, x1 y1, x2 y2, x3 y3 etc. are found out, the calculation of h will become very easy. So this, if you simply write it down as y bar minus y1, y bar minus y2, y bar minus y3, and the value inside the bracket, irrespective whether it comes out positive or negative, it makes no difference because it will be a whole square value. You will be calculating all the solutions very easily and without any mistake. So this is one trick that you can use. So now let us take another problem. In this problem what we can see is, this is a right angle triangle from which a circle has been removed and there is a semicircle at the bottom. In this, the problem statement is we have to determine the moment of inertia about AB, this axis, which has been predefined in the problem. Now the purpose of determination of centroid was that you needed to find out the reference axis about which moment of inertia is to be found. Here the reference axis is predefined in the problem. So if it is predefined in the problem, that means that the reference axis is your AB. So the moment of inertia has to be calculated about point AB, about plane AB. So if plane AB is defined, we need not find out the centroid of this section, because centroid, ultimate aim of finding determination of centroid is you want a reference frame about which moment of inertia is to be calculated. Here the reference frame is predefined in the problem. In mechanical engineering design, this moment of inertia is always calculated about the centroidal axis, but this is a one-off problem. These types of problem may appear in your examinations where you will not be asked to determine the centroid and straight away find the moment of inertia, because a single problem having centroid and moment of inertia both will actually make the problem very big. So to cut down on the size of the problem, what the examiner does is he specifies the reference frame. or he will give you the centroidal axis, the location of the centroidal axis. So in this problem, the reference frame is predefined. So means all distances have now to be calculated with reference to point AB or frame AB. So I about AB is equal to, this won't be written as IXX now, because if you write XX, that means you want it about the centroidal axis. XX and YY are denominations used to represent the centroidal axis only. Here when the reference is defined, write it in terms of the reference frame only. So IAB is equal to IAB of 1, the right triangle, plus IAB of 2, the semicircle, minus IAB of 3, the circle. IAB of 1 is BH cube by 12, this we have previously defined, BH cube by 12 about the base. So AB is the base of the triangle, so it is BH cube by 12. BH cube by 36 is IXX of a triangle, that means it is about the centroidal axis. Here you need to calculate about the base, and the formula for base, fortunately we have already calculated. You can remember or you can shift it using parallel axis theorem, you will get the same answer. So this is 6 into 6 to the power 3 BH cube by 12. Now IAB2, if you come to AB2, IAB2 is 0.11 into 3 to the power 4. So 0.11 into 3 to the power 4 is about this centroidal axis, plus pi r square, because the centroidal axis of the semicircle and the reference AB has a distance, and you actually do not know the formula for AB. You know the formula for AB, but this I have taken for reference sake. IAB2 about the base of a semicircle is again pi r to the power 4 by 8 only. So this if you do, it will come out to be pi r to the power 4 by 8, but for reference purpose it is 0.11 into 3 to the power 4, plus this is the area, and how much shift, this is the shift, this is 4r by 3 pi. We have represented it by minus also, because the whole square will ultimately turn out to be positive. So you can calculate this one. Similarly IAB3. Now the centroidal axis of the circle and AB are coincident. So if you find out the moment of inertia of the circle about its own centroidal axis, it will be about AB only. So IAB3 is pi r to the power 4 by 4, that we have, the formula is previously calculated and derived for your reference. So this comes out to be pi into 1.5 to the power 4 by 4. 1.5 is this because the diameter of the circle is 3. So with this we have seen different types of problems. It is actually not possible to deliver or to make you understand n number of problems on the YouTube channel, but in the discussion in the classes etc., we will be seeing how to solve a variety of other problems. Thank you.